Welcome to 2022. Happy New Year to everyone. And to get things started, it couldn't have been any better. This is really wonderful. One of my favorite bands of 2021. I've wanted to interview Phantom Leap for so long. Welcome, lead vocalist Marina La Taraca, guitarist.
Yes, thank you. Happy New Year to you too, Mark.
Thank you. Guitarist Max Von Esch.
Yes, and Happy New Year to you too, of course.
And drummer
Yeah.
Yes.
And thanks for liking the album.
We practice that, but nerves get in the way. All right. Well, hey, definitely thank you for taking some time to talk with us at Progressive Rock Central. 2021 was one heck of a year for Phantom Leap. Roll back the memories and tell us what you were expecting at the end of 2020 amidst the lockdown and all the other problems we were having for the beginning of 2021, because it's been a great year for you, but it probably started out a little tough.
Yeah. Oh man, in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, we were finishing the recordings of the album before the pandemic hit. So I think the only
29 on that 2019. Yeah, it feels like we skip a year. End of 2020.
No, that was 20, Max.
That was 20. We already released Diamonds in Dark in 2020.
We did in October.
Yeah. No, but wait a second, because I remember I had to record some vocals at home. Do you remember? I was supposed to record some missing vocals at Hannes's studio, and then I had to record from home.
And that was the start
because of the pandemic. So that was 20.
No, I'm so.
It was in the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Already getting confused. Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, because we released Diamonds in Dark and everything in October, if I'm not mistaken. So that was indeed the beginning of 2020 when we wrapped up the recordings. Yeah. So it's strange. Everybody's not really keeping, a good a good count of years lately. I think everybody's a little confused, but if I remember well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that what we thought back then is that this is something that would be gone fast, or like within some months, or maybe a year from then, and then we would be fine to do the album promotion like a band would generally do, with lots of public appearances and shows, and that's what we thought. And
well,
but it's oh, you go ahead, Yuri.
Oh yeah, no, unfortunately it all took a little bit longer, and the whole industry needs to kind of plan ahead even more now. So that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. I think start of 2020 when we were recording. I think for us, it's like, at least for me and Yuri, it was the first album we did. So Wasteland already existed, but that was before our time. So it was for us a huge, I think, an exciting moment, even though in these weird times, to create the album, to work with a label for the first time. And it was such a cool process. And we really did do a lot. I think I had in mind at some point that we're actually going to be in a studio together, like most bands are, but we kind of also to sort of production wise make it run smoother, did a lot from home. So a lot of stuff has been home recorded, actually, at least the guitars and bass, and
the vocals
and a bit of the vocals. And it was a really cool new experience, I think, at least for us too. Marina already did it once.
Well, 3 times before. I mean, with Phantom Leap, I had recorded one album, and And then with my old band one, and with Exit Eden, I had already released one too. So
much
it was, yeah, but I'm still kind of amazed that whenever they say that was like Titanium was the first album they ever, well, worked on and recorded.
Yes.
I'm shocked because these guys are not, they're not playing around. They're really fucking beasts.
I
And
think we can be very proud.
and the fact
Yeah.
that this was like the first album they worked on is like, okay, dudes. All right.
Okay.
Oh well.
Phantom Elite, what does it mean to you guys?
The name of the band?
Yeah.
Or you mean like the origin of the band, or what does the band mean to us?
We're going to get to the origin on the next question.
All right.
What does the name mean to you?
Okay, so well, let's say the name itself comes from the beginnings, when only I was I'm the only remaining member of those times of the band. And well, Sander Gomans, who co-founded the band with me, he suggested the band name because back then, yeah, this is already jumping in a little bit with the origin question. I'm sorry, there's no way to put it apart, but yeah, we started out as a live band for Sander's studio project called HDK. So we were actually supposed to be a band who was going to play his stuff live. And that's basically it. But right from the start, that's not what we wanted. I mean, we wanted to do that because the songs are very good. And anyway, all of us would love to play live back then a lot. And yeah, but we started writing our own stuff really early in the game. So yeah, but the name Phantom Elite comes from a piece of the lyrics from Eternal Journey, which is a song in the HDK album, Serenades of the Netherworld. Yeah.
We're going to talk about that one too. I love that song.
Yeah.
So then how did you all meet then? You kind of touched on it, but go ahead.
Well, it's kind of it's a little bit strange, the fact that the band members left one by one back then, because it really is like Sander and I put together a band with some, talented musician that basically he knew around the Netherlands and had contact with, but that didn't work socially. That wasn't sustainable because we just didn't have the same goals in mind. So yeah, one by one they were like, oh, I'm more focused on this, or like, oh, my life is not about music anymore, or some creative differences, and then they just ended up leaving the band actually. And well, since Sander and I always wanted to continue the band, there was always like, okay, and the remaining members, because that was like not everyone at once, it was just one and then the other one out and the other one in.
There was always stuff planned as well, so you're always looking ahead.
Yeah, we're always having shows, and so we needed to keep the thing going. And that's when we got Yuri and Max, in that order. Yuri came in, and then a couple months later Max came in because the other guitarist left. And then at some point the other guitarist, the remaining guitarist from the beginning of the band, also left. And that's when we actually got let's say the kick in the ass we needed to start writing Titanium. Only the three of us. We were like, okay,
well, this works.
That's how it is.
So let's just keep it small, and then
Yeah.
it's way less of a hassle, easier to make creative decisions and to keep in touch, communicate. So we're like, why not the power trio?
Yes.
I think the puzzle finally like fit and came together, and we as a three-piece are really, I think, like family. We are really working well together, and that's going great. And of course, we have Siba, our session bass player. He's not here right now, but he's not in the band, but we do treat him as the fourth family member.
Yes.
And he's also been very consistent in that. So now we're doing pretty well. Finally got like the golden crew together.
Yes, that's what we think.
All right, Titanium, what a record. I obviously love it, but how is it doing internationally? I have a feeling it's doing pretty darn good.
Well, I think that it is actually being very well received. If you take a look at how like Wasteland did, there was like an independent release, and there was not really done very consistently regarding, let's say, the rules of music marketing and everything like that. If we compare those, I think you guys know the numbers better than me, how much we grew in terms of like general audience.
Thousands
Some-
percent.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's like a bit like, okay, Titanium did, I think, better than we all expected it to be, and it's a really weird sort of scenario we're in right now, because we can't really play live shows, so we don't get the feedback from the actual audience. So basically what we then are starting to hold on to are like the numbers on the internet, or the
Yes.
comments on the internet, because
Yeah.
there's not really much more to measure. So but I think in that case it did way better than we all expected. And then Wasteland was like a very small time release compared to Titanium. And so I think there's some stats we rose 999% in some stats, which is really funny to see, because it's such a big difference between the two.
Yeah, and that means that we're obviously happy with, you know, how the acceptance of the album,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though we didn't get the chance to tour, because
Yeah.
touring is, let's say, in the classic structure of music industry, which is shifting, obviously, but it's still a big part of it. And we didn't get to do that, not because we didn't try, obviously. Yeah. And yeah, still we're pretty happy, especially with our like digital stream numbers and the reaction we get from our, you know, fans or audience online. That's pretty
All
cool.
right.
Yeah.
I had so much hope in seeing a video for the title track, and that's one way you can sort of get around the not touring, is putting out videos, and you guys definitely put out a lot of them. But I'm dying to see a video for Titanium. Is that still going to
Well-
happen? Is that still going to happen?
Well,
Sort of.
Well-
Yeah, I think we can say, right?
sort of. It's
Yeah.
a sort of. That's the answer.
We
Sort of.
we're not gonna say more.
Yeah, no, come on, come on, say it, say it.
Okay. No,
Please.
we actually
Please.
that's we. Okay, I'll say it. We actually did we're working right now on a live session we did in a studio in the Netherlands, and we recorded 3 live versions of the songs together with a video of us performing the song live, and one of them is Titanium. So we're sort of getting the redemption of having a video of us playing Titanium. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
Hey, can we all do it together? Atomic number 22.
Yes.
I love the refrain. Do it. Go ahead.
Awesome. No, yeah, that's I mean, the only reason why we also don't consider releasing a full music video of anything on Titanium anymore is just because there is a momentum to promote the singles from an album. And once it's been like a year since we released it, it's just not worth it anymore. And that's also a decision that, you know, we take together with the label.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit like, unfortunately, how it is, but it's also good because then we have the energy to focus on what we're working next.
Yeah, new stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
All right, let's talk a little bit about Titanium, the tracks on Titanium. We're definitely going to get to the new album. I can't wait to talk to you about that. But on Diamonds and Dark, that was the first video I saw. That's one that sort of pulled me in. And Marina, you unveiled that album art arc on your hand. That was pretty cool. tell us a little bit you did a making of that video as well, but go ahead and talk about the song or the video or both, or go ahead.
Well, I think Diamonds in Dark, we can all agree it's one of our favorite album tracks on the album. And also how it came to be, it's quite unusual because it was the first, I guess it was the first song we actually completed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
Writing
first
for
song
Titanium.
that had this whole
Yeah.
structure.
And it was very weird because Max is a very talented songwriter, and he had a few things in his pocket, you know, just laying there. He was like, guys, you know, we were trying to work on something with the old guitarist, it didn't work out. And then he was like, just have a look at what I have here, you know, like maybe this serves as inspiration or something. And everybody, when we heard that was an instrumental track, Diamonds in Dark, but I think we used it almost completely as Max had it.
Yeah,
at
so we're
first.
like, let's now work on this one.
We were
from
like,
now
oh
on.
no, we got to work on this song. This is way better than what we were trying to do before. I mean, welcome.
Yeah,
And
I did-
then, yeah, I took
Yeah,
it home and I worked on the slogan Diamonds in Dark is something that came from a book I was reading back then. And that chorus is literally the first thing I sang when I was listening to the song and trying to write the vocal melodies. And everyone was already like, that works perfectly. Like we shouldn't change anything here.
Yeah, it's the one of the songs we did. We I think wrote the fastest. It was like done very quickly.
Yeah.
And
And we were satisfied with it, you know, because
Important.
yeah, but
and the
that's
music
rare.
video
That's
the
really
music
rare.
video was horrible though. Not that the music video is horrible, but the production of the music video was horrible. It was a
It was very
very
tough.
tough day.
Well, a rainy day.
Yeah,
It
it was a
was
rainy
a
day,
hustle.
and we had only one car, and I had to drive 5 times up and down to get all the stuff, and then we had to take it up the hill, and like it was such long time of planning, and everything was sort of planned out, and then we finally got it on top of the hill, and everything was set, and then it started to rain, and yeah, that
It
was
was terrible.
Yeah,
We
the
were lucky.
generator, the fucking
Yeah.
generator.
We
Oh,
were
they-
lucky to
Where
have
was
set up
it?
the tent. I'm sorry.
Where was it? Where did you film it?
Funny enough, it was about 10 minutes from where we used to live back then, and that's well in the hills of Limburg, which is like the south of the Netherlands. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, it really
No, it's
is.
beautiful.
It's the only
very
place
nice.
in
It's
the Netherlands where
beautiful.
we have hills.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it still turned out amazing. I'm really happy how that
Yeah,
video,
yeah.
video did.
We love the vibe of it. It's very summery, and it's just
I thought it was like late summer, early fall, because you
it
you
was.
had like a flannel shirt or something like that, and it looked like it was like late summer, early fall.
Exactly, that's what it was. It was we shot on 2 different days. That let's say the band performance was August, and that one might have been September, but that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Glass Crown was the second one I saw and heard the video for. Tell us a little bit about that and putting that video together. Is another excellent video, but go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who wants to talk now?
Yeah, Glass Crown is actually quite a funny story behind that song. Since we were like, what are we gonna do with this? It was faster and it was way more aggressive. The beat was like way more, yeah.
Well, dancey but straightforward.
Yeah, eventually, and then Sander, the executive producer, he was like, put a disco beat under this, and we were all like, no, that is a terrible idea. Let's not put a disco beat under this. And then we listened to it, and it got stuck in our heads, and then we were like, yeah, this could actually work. And then we modified it a little bit, and then chose it even to be the single. So that's quite funny. Quite funny.
Yeah. I think it was a song that we didn't really expect to get chosen to be the single, because I mean, it is quite catchy, but you know, we have strong opinions about, you know, music in general, about our music, and we were a little bit like worried, like, is this maybe not too much, you know, this disco beat, this super
No, came off
poppy.
good.
chorus, we were like, what? But then, yeah, we were very, very happy with the
Yeah,
reaction.
so it was a smart move.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, but the music video, we decided, well, never gonna film on a hilltop again. So now let's do it inside. So we don't have the issue of rain. So then we found also a sort of a castle in the neighborhood of where Yuri and Marina live, and or lived, and we shot there. The first video we did, by the way, with Bart Sperling, who's a great videographer, I think you call it like that. And the second one we did with Mirko Witsky, who's also an amazing cameraman and editor. And yeah, the one went great. Also, both videos have a little bit of our own input visually that we did, so we could really work together very well with them. Also, funny thing about like a little blooper about that one was that we had a lot of candles and we
And glass or it looked like
And glass.
that was extremely dangerous. And when I think back of it, I have no idea why we did that. Like Marina laying in the middle of glass
I
and
know that.
candles.
And fire.
There was fire and there was like artificial snow, and it was really a bad idea in general.
Yeah.
And then finally, when we were cleaning up, we found out that all the candle wax sort of got in the floor, and it was like an age-old oak, expensive floor. And then we were like really worried that we ruined the floor. So yeah, every video
Which
clip
we
has,
did.
like,
Yeah, which we did. And
We did ruin the floor, but the owners were just, I
They
don't
were
know
very
how
nice.
nice they had to be to
yeah.
ignore that fact, but they didn't charge us anything. I don't know.
We're very thankful.
We never heard from it again. So
No. So every video has its bloopers and things that went wrong, but I think we are really proud still of the things we made.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
definitely.
Deliverance is another one of my favorite songs besides the title track. But I also love Silver Lining. Deliverance has a visualizer video. Will Silver Linings, is that maybe one of the ones you're considering of the three for video? Yeah, I'm trying to unveil all of this stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, you guessed it very correctly. Yes.
Yeah.
That it's a wonderful song. You guys want to talk about any of it, or
Yeah, about Silver Lining.
Yeah, you
either
talk
that
about
or the video or
Yeah.
both? Yeah.
All right, so maybe Max can talk about Deliverance and I can talk about Silver Lining. Yeah,
Sure.
go
You
Max.
go first. Oh, okay, I'll go first. So Deliverance. Deliverance is one of the few songs I think that wasn't written for Phantom Elite, which it was a song that I wrote, I think, a year before I joined the band. So that was like the kind of thing when we started writing new stuff and what Marina said, like when I said, I have some stuff laying around, Deliverance was one of those songs. And also it was very much close to finished already. It only did not have vocals. So we sort of changed some minor things about it, and then it was kind of good to go straight away. And Marina just worked at home writing her vocals on it, and it blended very well. And but I think it's a cool song to sort of see what we can do differently compared to, let's say, a Wasteland, because it doesn't focus on the symphonic part necessarily. It's way more, let's say, Gojira-esque modern kind of music. So the fact that it worked, it was actually a big gamble to see if it worked, but it worked, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the importance of that song, and that's like a good hook to keep in mind, because that's something that we want to explore more and more. No? But about Silver Lining, I think that's the very opposite of how Deliverance came to be, and it just shows our different influences in general. Silver Lining started out as something that I had laying around, and it was just like, I'm not an instrumentist, so whenever I write something, I just write on basic piano chords and focus on my you know, on vocal
Delivery.
melodies and a chord progression that makes sense. And then that's what I did. I was like, Max, can you do something with it? And I just threw it to him, and it was very symphonic-esque, and it is. You can still hear that the verses and the chorus is pretty modern, and the pre-chorus too, but you can hear from the verses that it comes from a more gothic-y, dark, symphonic vibe. And that's because it probably came from me first. And but I also think that we really like. I loved Max's riff from the start, because it was also so unexpected. I was like, okay, this actually works.
Yeah,
And,
makes it heavy, makes it phantomly.
Yeah, and then actually Amanda joining on the verse was also just a spontaneous idea in the studio, since I was recording with her, and she was trying to. She was trying to tell me, like, coaching me on how to sing that verse more, well, the way she had in mind. And I liked it, but I couldn't really do it. And I was just singing it way too straightforward. And every time she did it, I was like, that's it. Like, that's what we need. Can you, do you want to sing on the mic? And she was like, I could. Can I? I was like, yeah, just do it. And then, you know, we figured out on the spot some harmonies, and it was really on the spot. It was kind of not improvised, but spontaneous creativity with the, let's say, the vocals on that song.
All right, we're gonna run out of time, but
True.
if you guys can hang in there, it's gonna stop and then we'll start it up again. But do you want to comment on the race or conjure reigns?
Sure. I think conjurings is for me one of my favorite songs. It's also, I can't really remember how it came to be, like not as like the others, but I do remember.
I think
that
we did kind of write that one together. It was when the three of us were sitting together, and even like the lyrics and vocals we kind of did.
Yeah,
Maybe
together.
place,
that could be.
perhaps.
At your old place.
At my old place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the fun thing about the song is that I think we all really wanted it to be the first song on the album, just because it's one of the heaviest songs we have, and it kind of felt like, oh, this is sort of a way to kick in the door, let's say, to just say, oh, we have an angry song to start with. So that's Conjurings, and the race we actually, I think, also wrote together in Yuri's old place.
Yeah.
And that's
actually,
also, I think, the second or third one where we were actually like, okay, this is working, this is something.
Yeah, true.
Diamonds in Dark and the race really were, I think, the first two picks for singles we had laying around.
Yeah, it was, those two were certain. We were like, okay, we're sure of these two.
I think the conjurings we tuned down. We made a little bit slower. I think it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was even faster. Yeah,
it was way more angry even.
that was just not making sense like, fast. No,
this might be too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Darn, I wanted to go with this one, but okay. Could that third song that you're maybe going to do a video for be The Worst Part of Me? I can imagine a very dark video for that one.
Yeah, I mean, we would have loved to. We would have loved to have, you know, more singles on the album, to be honest, and more actual music videos for everything. But it's also, if we are going to be honest, you know, it's a matter of budget and time, because we don't want to settle for doing crappy videos. So we always want to put a lot of energy, and, you know, that requires energy and budget and everything that you have to, you know, to talk about with your label. And it's complicated. So let's say it's a little bit standard what we did of choosing like 2 lyric videos and it's a hard choice, because we also feel like Titanium has so many songs that could have been
the whole album
chosen as single.
Also,
And
of
that's
course,
a very, very
yeah,
lucky luxury problem, really.
Yeah,
But
also with
yeah,
the worst part of me, of course, we need to have someone doing the harsh vocals,
yeah,
yes,
which is,
obviously.
I mean, we had Steph of my other band right now, but of course he's not always available. And in case of playing live, we can't really take him with us on tour. So that's the, like, the difficult thing about that song specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're trying.
But we're trying.
It's very nice to play live.
It's
I imagine that
nice
thing really
BPM.
Yes, it's a nice BPM.
gets some good feedback from the audience.
Yeah.
We'll
All
keep that
right.
in mind.
All right. I don't know how much more we're going to have, but let's get these last two in. Haven and Eyes Wide Open. Excellent songs. They're often overlooked by other reviewers and people, but I love Haven. It's really beautiful. And then
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Open is a fantastic way to close the album. You want to talk about those?
I think that's
Yeah.
for Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one of you can talk about Eyes Wide Open, and I'll take Haven.
All
So
right.
Haven was also like Deliverance. It was already written sort of before I joined Phantom Elite, and it was in the original song I had. Haven and Deliverance were the same song, where Haven was before the heavy part started, and I couldn't really let go of that part because I really liked how it sort of interluded into the really heavy riff that Deliverance starts with. Only if we would have kept it in the song, then we would have like a song of 7 minutes with a very long intro. So we kind of thought like, okay, we can do as a separate song, and then people can choose to whether to listen to it or not. It's sort of in the album, it sort of functions as a chill space
Because there isn't any.
there's
Yeah.
so much heavy stuff going on, and we kind of didn't really do a ballad this time, so we kind of have this instrumental interlude to sort of calm things down before they go and demolish everything again.
Yeah.
So that's
It's a
kind of
contrast.
function for
Well,
Haven.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Eyes Wide Open is well, let's say the happiest song on the album, and it's also something that Max had completely, and this time even with the vocal melodies done, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool maybe to use the song and
Oh,
put
yeah, that's
vocals
good.
on it instead of lead guitar, because in Max's original version there was a lead guitar doing what I'm singing, and I think exactly what I'm singing, and I was like, okay, it's kind of a
Yeah.
fun project to make it fit exactly in the lead guitar, and see if that works as a song with vocals too. And turned out that it's pretty cool. We decided to include on the album because, well, we also needed that uplifting
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
That's what we
uplifting.
felt.
Yeah. Yeah. So we start on a really angry note with conjurings, and we end on a sort of positive note with Eyes Wide
Yes.
Open. That kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's almost perfect to what I was going to ask you. If you could select one song off Titanium, what would you say is the one that sort of points in the direction of this new album? And I think we're going to get this break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the new album. We're going to talk about Universe, and then we're going to talk about the tours, if you guys have time to do it.
Sure.
All right. So let's say maybe we have different opinions about the songs that connect to the new album.
Mhm.
But I think, well, Deliverance, because it's a song that has, melodic vocals plus a genty modern vibe, and conjurings,
Conjurings.
because
Yeah, I think.
it's very groovy.
Yeah, and worst part of me, I feel also could be
Yeah.
Yeah.
heavy.
It might be a little bit of the race too.
Yeah.
I think that from Wasteland on to now Titanium, we kind of slowly started incorporating more modern sounds and doing a little bit less symphonic stuff. And I think that is a path we really liked to do, and I think in the new album we're gonna push that path further, basically. So
Yeah.
we have now a good start of what we like, and we're gonna work or we're already working on the third chapter of that.
Well, Glass Crown is also not super far if you
Okay,
analyze it like that.
The whole album is not very.
The whole album is not that far. Well, actually, what we're trying to say is just exactly what Max just said, which is like we're pushing some things to the extreme and leaving some stuff out, because I think Titanium was more
A middle album.
yes,
bridging.
and it was also an effort to bring those things together, but now we want to really merge it without the glue of the symphonic, and I think that's gonna work. We think that it's gonna work.
Oh, I'm sure.
Let's see.
No, you guys, it's just fascinating listening to this. Waiting for this darn thing to,
Yeah.
do you wanna mention the title yet, or is it too early?
Oh, it's too early.
Too early.
It's too early.
And any idea